So, why do we need the divine feminine right now? First of all, we have always needed her, but she has been suppressed, denied, hidden, erased, maligned for thousands of years. And as a result of that, as a result of not acknowledging the creative source as a feminine power and solely focusing on the masculine principle, the result of that has been to oppress, hide, malign women as a whole. And that is a state that we are living in. There are other repercussions, the environment, our economy, et cetera. But I'm going to focus right now solely on the result that patriarchy, patriarchal religions, and spirituality have had on real life human women. In a world where women loved themselves, Donald Trump could not have been elected president. This is not about Kamala Harris and the fact that it was a man versus a woman. It's not even about that. Donald Trump could not have been elected. Even if a Republican was elected, it would have been another type of Republican. And I am neither Democrat nor Republican, so I have no party allegiance there. It's simply that I'm bringing him up simply because he is so hateful, so full of hate, and obviously doesn't value women in any way and has demonstrated this repeatedly, even from the very first time that he ran. And, I'm not going to go into all the examples now. They're all over the internet. And if you miss them, then that just proves my point. And that is that in a world where women love themselves, and I'm not to say that Donald Trump being elected is the fault of women, um, because obviously lots of men voted for him as well. It's the fact that a woman that loved herself and valued herself as a woman and fully understood our worth in this world could not have brought herself to vote for Donald Trump. I understand that there are plenty of people who will not be able to receive that message. I am talking to those that do receive that message because that tells me that you're ready to go on this journey of interrogating your beliefs and what you believe about women in general and what you believe about yourself as a woman. I have come to understand that, it's like the scales have come off my eyes, and I finally see all of the ways and all the systems that discount women and our value. And a woman that loved herself and understood her worth would not put a misogynist in the White House. She would not support candidates that are disrespectful to the menstrual cycle. She would not support candidates that commit SA against women. She would not. She would not support candidates that physically intimidate women. Um, she couldn't bring herself to do it because it would be an affront to her. She would support other women and want to protect other women because she understood the value of women. And the reason so many women were willing to put such a vile human being into the most powerful position, not only in this country, but arguably the world, is because we have been taught not to love ourselves. We have been systematically taught that men are better than us, that men are more valuable than us, that the things that define manhood are essentially more worthwhile and worthy of adoration, respect, um, and tangible benefits than the things that are characteristic of women. Some of that belief comes from religion. And I know this not as an outsider. I am someone who, for the vast majority of my life, so, 40 plus years, was well steeped in patriarchal religion. And I was deeply committed to it, deeply, deeply committed. I was not somebody who just was going to church and sitting in the pew once a week. And not that I'm not judging anyone for doing that. I'm not even judging anyone now who's doing that. I'm simply saying my belief went well beyond that. I was a ministry leader, pastoral assistant, somebody who preached, somebody who led praise and worship, somebody who founded and led multiple ministries. I was a teacher of the Bible, a student of the Bible. I have lexicons, concordances. I have Bible apps on my phone right now. I was studying Hebrew and Greek and Aramaic. I ordered my life around the Bible. It determined who I associated with, where I would be willing to go and not go, what sorts of media I was willing to consume, what food and drink I was willing to consume or not consume, how I ordered my time and how I spent my money, just to name a few things. And I'm not saying I have separated myself from all of that. I think um, there is wisdom in the Bible, and I think there are tenets that can help you lead a better life. However, I have now come to understand the history of the Bible, how it was composed, the evolution of the faiths that emerge from the Bible. And I understand now that it is very skewed against women, but also against the divine feminine. And that was not always the case, even among the Israelites of the Bible. That was not always the case. But anyway, I'm going way out far off. There's plenty of time to go into all of that, but I want to make it clear that I have not come to this perspective as somebody who was not a believer. I was very much a believer, sold out for Christ, whatever, however you want to put it, born again, all of it. I went so deep into it that I have emerged with the truth. This was not as a skeptic looking on and saying those people are crazy. No, I was one of them. And so I know what I'm talking about in that regard. And because I have been on that journey and because I have benefited so much from this journey, um, I feel compelled to share, because perhaps there are others out there. Perhaps you're like me, where I'm steeped in this faith, committed myself, particularly as an adult, and at some point a question came to me: what about the feminine side of the creator? And it was like a prayer almost, just like, I want to know her because I know she's there. because we were created both male and female. We were created in the image of God, both male and female. And that truth just sat in me. And I just knew that if I'm made in the image of the creator, there must be a feminine side of the creator, but I couldn't find it. I couldn't find it in the Bible, but I just knew that it had to be there. And that was, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. And here I am now on the internet talking about the divine feminine. And it's such a beautiful journey, and it has taught me to love myself on a deeper level than ever before. It has connected me to nature and the earth and other people. It has made me stronger than I've ever been. And it has given me a love and a respect and regard for women that I don't think I had before. Not that I didn't love women or anything, but it's just now I have a much deeper understanding of the worth of women, the inherent worth of women, and the fact that we are convinced that we are inferior. And so many of us are unconsciously um, carrying around that belief that we are inferior to men. Again, unconsciously, you're not going to say, oh yeah, men are better than us, men are superior to us, men are better leaders, or no, you're most of us, especially here in 2025, we're not going to say that or believe that consciously. We must interrogate our beliefs, examine our actions, and understand where they are coming from. And much of what we do and subject ourselves to is based in a belief that we are inferior to men. Um, and again, that belief is partially due to religion, but it's not just religion. It's the whole system. So yeah, if you want to examine those issues, that is what this channel is going to be for. Again, I will be talking about the differences between a masculine spiritual orientation and a feminine spiritual orientation. And I will just talk about what I have learned about communing with the divine feminine over the past few years. So stay tuned, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.